Going
Okay,
through
let's
all
add
the
some
Overwatch League
enthusiasm to this one,
teams.
Caleb.
We're gonna be going through all the Overwatch League teams and seeing, in our personal opinion, who is the best player on each team. This will get decisive. You might not agree.
Also,
Sucks to
yeah,
suck, I guess.
keep in mind we also haven't watched every single game this season. Um, and there is going to be obvious bias because we watch streamers and stuff like that. So it's not just the most objective view of all time. And we're going to
Yeah,
start from the APAC region. We're going to go from the bottom to the top.
starting off with the Los Angeles Valiant. So this team doesn't have too much noteworthy players. They currently have a negative 46 map differential. If that's pretty bad. The only player even have heard of on that team is Crystal. Uh, he
Yeah,
was he was on charge last year, and he wasn't bad.
I'm. There's not a lot of bright spots on the Valiant. They have like two players that do okay, and that Crystal is one of them. There's not much of an argument to put there. Um, let's sweep them away. We'll go to the Guangzhou Charge. They've actually looked up a lot in the recent qualifiers, but season outlook, they got. I'm going with Kronk. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I have to
he's
go with Kronk
very
too.
solid, and you
Yeah,
know what you're gonna get
a
out of him every
solid
time.
a solid off tank. He hasn't through any games. Pull a season two Carpe.
Yeah. There's not much to say about that team. As we go on, we'll get more into it. There's
Yeah,
just not a
it's just
controversy with that team.
these are
Yeah.
the teams that don't have much
NYXL,
to say.
it's gonna be another one of those teams. They're like Flora, he's looking up, but when it comes down to it, Jonak, best
Yeah,
player on that team. The team's built around him. There's no
yeah.
questioning that, I don't
Jonak,
think.
you
Um,
throughout the years, he's been
he's a
top of
god
mind.
on
He got
a god
MVP first
Zenyatta.
year.
Yeah.
There's so many clips. There's the one of him versus Defiant where he just goes into their spawn on Hanamura and just 1v4s.
That
It's pretty
doesn't have much
insane.
to do with this season, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but he's just
he
very
still
good.
pops off all the
He's a
time.
solid.
You almost always know what you're getting from him, and if you're not getting what you know, he's going higher, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
the Spark, I mean, they have pretty good players, Architect, Sominsu, IDK, Gushue. Um, personally, this one's a little more biased in my part, but I'm going with Architect.
I
He
I'm
flexes extremely hard and he can play almost every role that you need. And
I'm gonna go something different. I'm gonna go with Salmon Su. I think that he hasn't really shown the maximum of his power, and I think he can do better. I think he has potential.
yeah.
Architect's really good, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I figured I'd go
I
for
mean,
some.
Architect was on like Team South Korea, and he kind of carried, but they lost to USA. So.
So next we got
Um,
Philly Fusion.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah,
very
there's a lot
solid
of
people
really
on
good
this team.
people, and I
They're
don't know why
just
they're ranked fourth. I don't
they are just
understand,
underperforming
dude.
hard.
Toby, EQ, a lot of people on that
Div,
team can be
yeah.
argued for the best. Um, I'm gonna be a little shock fanboy and say Rascal. He's just the ultimate flex god. He plays everything to an optimal level. He's just really good.
Uh, yeah. Rascals, he's okay. I don't know.
Alarms also.
Big, yeah. Rascal's
Alarms
a
a
big,
close second.
good May player, pretty decent flex. I don't think this. I think Alarm's fantastic. He's
Yeah, Alarm almost
definitely
got
top in
him.
the league. Not the best, top five when it comes to Ana, and up there with Zenyatta as well. He brings. You can't. Yeah, he puts so much pressure on the other team, and he's very aggressive while also providing for his team as well. He's pretty
Yeah,
well-rounded flex
Alarm
support
almost
player.
got my vote, but I'm just a fan of Rascal.
uh,
There's Soul
number three, and
Dynasty.
yeah, they kind of looked up. They made the I don't even
They
know
made
what
the
this
grand
tournament
finals
was.
last year.
They made
Nice.
Countdown Cup. They got destroyed. Don't get me wrong; it was a one-sided slaughter both of their games, but I definitely profit. He's very good flex player. He has the experience. I feel like he's definitely leader on that team. won grand finals, season 1. Profit's fantastic. There's
Yeah,
been with
but
Profit. I
Profits
think
just
everywhere he's gone, I think he's been with
but the
Profit. I
thing is
might
that,
be wrong about
Prophet
that,
just has
but
the hard carry potential.
yeah,
It it's always winnable if Prophet's alive.
pretty much, yeah. Chengdu,
Leave.
that's not a question. It's leave. He's
Leave deadlifts that
easily
team.
right now the most explosive player, at least in the Countdown Cup. I I can safely say they would be probably 5 or 6 if they didn't have leave, and that's actually kind of being generous, just because 7 and 8
No,
are terrible.
no, I think they
The
would be
Charge
7.
and the
I think they'd
Valiant
lose to
are
Charge.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
Jinmu's pretty decent and all, but when it comes
Gen
down to it, the game is leave. Yveltal's good. Late
Yveltal's cool, he's
Young's
giving out
been
their
looking up his
Pokemon.
divas. He's very good at pressuring DPS and supports out of position, but when it
Did you
comes
know
down
that
to it,
Yveltal was set in the Pokédex was said that when he dies, everything else on Earth dies? Just a
Big
fun
Yveltal
Pokemon
using
fact.
Oblivion Wing.
Yes, sir.
Freaking X and Y, dude, let me tell you.
Shanghai Dragons. So this team, they're pretty all right. You know, they're only
Yeah,
number
they're
one,
okay. I
like
mean, they
almost
have like
undefeated.
yeah. They won 2 of the tournaments. They're okay. I
Alright,
mean,
so sarcasm aside, this team, you could make a solid argument for about everyone. What, Fleta, Void, Fate, Izayaki. I mean,
flip.
not Lee Gone, he fed in finals, but that's besides the point. I'm gonna go
I
for
mean,
Izayaki. I think he's just the best flex support.
hmm,
Just
stealing
period.
my pick. Nah, but
No, no, it was me, all me. I made the choice.
Izayaki is fantastic. It might be. It's Izayaki, Lip, and Fleta that are MVP candidates this year, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
that looks about right.
I'm not gonna lie. Uh, yeah, I feel I would definitely say Lip if the thing is he plays a lot of Lip's a fantastic flex, don't get me wrong, but he plays a lot of Sombra and the casual thing called a Lip EMP where he hits 0 people or 1 person after getting like a 4K the
Oh
last
my
fight.
god.
That is I have to go with Izayaki.
Yeah,
I
Lip's
think
cool and all.
Izayaki's Zenyatta is completely out of this world and unmatched by everyone, but like
I'm gonna go out
Alarm
on
and
a
Violet,
tangent
I don't
here.
think there's any questioning
Fleta
that.
shouldn't have won MVP last year. I'm just saying, in finals, or in finals when they went against Shock last year, Striker popped off so hard that they had to bench Fleta for the rest of the series. I'm not saying that
Oh.
Striker's a better player. I'm just saying that Fleta got slammed.
Well, the MVP good thing the MVP vote was before grand finals.
Yeah.
Striker's fantastic.
Moving on to
But we're
the
talking about
West
Izayaki.
region.
Oh
This
yeah,
one's gonna
NA,
be
completely
very
dominant.
difficult. This one's gonna be kind of
Vancouver
difficult.
Titans, the worst team in NA by
Vancouver.
far.
He actually they have a better map differential than Valiant. I didn't know that was
Then
possible.
Valley. Holy shit, Valiant are worse than I thought. They
Yeah.
won 2 maps.
Yeah, it's like an yikes. So Vancouver, there's
Uh,
like one in pick. It's
Dalton
like
or Linkser,
Dalton.
but I
Yeah,
think this season Dalton and the win that they got, I believe it was against Boston, but it was
yikes.
Dalton hard carrying. I
Uh,
mean, um, on to London. London has the rookie, what is his name, Sparker,
yeah,
came in like
Sparker.
halfway through the season. He's fantastic. I mean, he's fantastic.
He deadlifts the team like
I would say him or
straight up.
Shax. I'm definitely going with Sparker, but I will
Yeah.
say the one game that they did win, which was against Vancouver, Shax just decided in map 5 that he wasn't gonna lose and just threw the team on his back, which is
Now that we got that over,
yeah, I'm definitely Sparker on that.
yeah,
I think he
it's
has
Sparker.
by far the brightest future, and although he's not like doesn't have all these awards, neither does anybody else on that team. So I mean,
Well, yeah, what would you
uh,
expect?
I mean,
Spitfire,
onto
they
the
haven't been that great.
disappointment of the season by far,
Florida
the Florida
Mayhem.
Mayhem. I
Dude, they
actually
looked
thought that it
so
was gonna
good
be
last season.
I
Like,
thought it
dude,
was gonna be Florida in shock,
yeah,
the
what was
number 1
the,
and 2 seeds from an A,
what was
but
that one
they beat Philly in the May Florida in the
May Melee,
May
right?
Melee, there you go.
Yeah, dude, and I'm like, "Oh my god, Florida, they're doing so good." They got BQB who's popping off, Yaki, you know, they're doing so good, and then they have,
Gargoyle.
yeah, Gargoyle,
I
and
forgot
now
who their
they're ranked
tank was
number
last
10.
year, but
I
their
just
main tank. I know they have OG this year. They picked up Slime, and then they had Gangnam Jin as well last year. They did have
yeah,
Checkmate come in, the
I
DPS boy, to
didn't
come in
have
to
a
play
checkmate.
Reinhardt, and he just showed us the bumper difference,
The
which was pretty
bumper
fantastic.
the bumper
They
difference.
almost beat Dallas doing that, but, I think the best player on Florida is definitely Yaki. He's fantastic. If he's popping off, they pretty much win. Look at other than the win record, I can safely say Yaki is the safe space for that team.
Yeah,
They rely on him a lot, and,
I'm gonna go BQB.
hit scan specialist.
So anyway, DM's just a menace on hit scans, and I think that he's just pretty good. Yaki's really good too. His tracer kind of pops off. But I don't know. I like the
He
hit
played
scan
Genji
players.
too last year.
He
He was in
really? How'd that
okay.
go?
He popped off. That was when Sparkle um did everything for Paris. Yeah. I mean, Gangnam Jin is also fantastic flex support. Um, I guess
Yeah,
Slime has some accolades, obviously, being with
well, yeah, being
Vancouver.
being Vancouver, and yeah, Slime's what the team. Grant, yeah, they had to pick up Slime because Chris, their old main support, was not doing great. He was kind of struggling.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much it. Florida Mayhem is very disappointing with
Disappointing.
fantastic players. I hope they get number 9, just barely
So
making the playoffs, is Boston Uprising.
the first time they've made a playoff since season two. Actually, I don't know if they made one in season two since season one. So that just kind of
This is the
shows.
first time they have really shown a sign of life since they had a striker.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
think without a doubt, at least in my opinion, I think Onigod's the best player on that team.
Oni
You can
God's
make the
not on
argument for Khan.
Boston.
Oh my god, you're
Myeongbong.
right. It's Myeongbong. Onigod's on freaking Paris. I'm
Yeah, that's the next
silly. I
team.
was looking
You
ahead.
silly baka.
No,
So
yeah, no. Boston is they have Stan One, they have Myeongbong. That's pretty
that's the
much
team.
it. Punk, he's gotten a lot better throughout the season.
Not bad.
Um,
Myeongbong.
Big boy
Last year,
Myeongbong, he's been there forever. He's fantastic.
last year he was like the only sign alive, and he's doing good this year. Him and
Good
Jerry
Ana
had a
player,
hard.
let me tell you.
Yeah, him and Jerry had a hard carry last year, and at least this year he has at least a team around him.
Hey, they did like 3-0 the Outlaws. I'm just
That
saying. I think
that's
they
yeah.
got 3-0'd by Vancouver, but
It's fine. We don't talk about that.
yeah,
Um,
they had a bad
honestly,
countdown cup to say the
I
least.
I think Boston. I think the addition of Standard one really
Lots of
helped out.
stability.
Yeah, it's just a it's an actual front line because uh Fusions was a really good communicator. It's just that he was kind of bad. He was getting MTD'd every game.
Also, Stan One has come from a championship environment, even though he got
Yeah.
dominated by Super on the Roadhog.
Hmm.
Our completely unbiased opinion.
Unbiased, by the way. You
Oh
may
yeah,
be able to notice, but we really like the shock.
On
So
to Paris. Paris, as I was saying before, it's gotta be Onigod.
yeah.
Khan is fantastic. Naga's really good on the far when they let him play it. But I feel like Onigod, when he's in and he's popping off, that's their win condition all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
I will say though, Khan's Zenyatta has been very, very good throughout the season. That is a big help with Onigod playing
Inspirational.
Tracer.
Alright, so on to
Okay,
the
so on to
Toronto Defiant.
Toronto.
Ah,
Uh,
yes.
Toronto, I know Aspire just came in, he's been popping off on Tracer. Hisu quite literally was trying to deadlift them in that loss, I guess it was a losing effort against, Atlanta in the qualifiers, but they got Sato, who's very reliable, I think, tank. Who do you think the
Yeah,
best player on that team is?
Hisu. I I don't
Yeah,
think it's
I think the
Hisu was on
Fusion boys
Philly
coming
last
in.
year, and he did really good. This year, he's doing really good.
This is an up and coming team, don't try to call them trash.
Yeah, the
And you look at
team's
them
not.
from last year to this year,
Yeah, that is
they've
true.
been very, very competitive.
We got
They can't beat
Sato
the top 4 teams, they definitely struggle, but they beat all the people that or at least compete against people that are relative to them. I feel like if we come back I feel like right now, Hisu is definitely the best player. When he's popping off, he looks completely unstoppable, and he looks like he's a complete top player in the league. When he's having a bad day, he's still extremely consistent. I will say though, Aspire, if we come to this like back to this next year, he will probably get my vote. I remember I think he's made his debut against Shock, and he completely widow gapped Glister at the start of the year. Granted, that was when Glister was just like getting not
and
with the
dealing with
team, but that was when
some
he was just
problems.
starting. Yeah. But also Aspired, that was his debut, and he has shown I wanna say it was a fight against Paris in the qualifiers where it was, like, him and Michelle maybe on Volskaya, and he Michelle just stayed alive and Aspire just, like, 4v1'd on Tracer while Michelle was, like, DMing him and just peeling, which is that is who Aspire is. He is a pop-off player. He's not gonna be crazy consistent, but when he's going well, he's almost
So
Decay.
let's just say, oh yeah,
Decay. I
yeah,
don't know what Decay's problem is. Every team he goes to seems to dislike him for some reason.
yeah.
I don't know if
Every
he just
team
doesn't
hates
wanna
them.
practice or something, but they don't tell me, obviously, but I don't know what his problem is, but whatever it is, it the team just needs to let him do what he wants because whenever he's out there, he is carrying. Mag is, I wanna say he's a rookie
He is.
tank, but he's been fantastic. Maybe
Actually,
not
what
fantastic. He
wasn't
has been
yeah.
extremely good, and he definitely his aggressive style is definitely helping Decay a lot to pop off, but when it comes down to it,
e-
Decay
Everyone hates
everybody
Decay.
thinks of Washington, they think of Decay. He's the best player on that team. I don't think there's a question about it. But nah, they just can they don't adapt to the meta very well, which is I don't know if that's a coaching thing or if that's players being stubborn, but I mean,
I feel like
they
it
still
has to
have a
be.
chance
I
to
don't know.
come
The thing
back
is,
into the end of the season and pop off. They have
yeah.
fantastic players,
I,
but
I
on to the Houston Outlaws. This I mean, there's a lot of these players are pretty good. Um,
Dante's really good.
Dante is
Happy,
Dante. Piggy's been a pleasant surprise this year. He's kind of a meme, but you know,
yeah.
uh,
Happy's been
Jake's
popping
been
off.
flexing onto the main support, which
Wait,
is
Jake's been flexing the main support.
yeah, he's been that brig like Mercy did.
Oh my God! What a I
I
did
definitely
Dante
feel
or Happy.
Dante. Yeah.
I'll probably have to go with Happy.
I feel I feel definitely probably Dante. I think he's been kind of screwed over by the bans. They banned Echo, they've banned Tracer, they've banned Sombra, and those happen to be his 3 best heroes. So he hasn't had that opportunity to shine at the MVP level. But I mean, it's Dante. So yeah,
Dante does
it's
Dante things.
Dante.
Alright,
Uh,
so now to the hardest team in the
I yeah,
league.
the by far, I think the Gladiators are the most difficult team to pick the best player from. You look at this
So let me
roster.
go through
What?
this and let me explain. Space, probably the best Western off tank in the league.
Yeah.
Bird
What?
Ring, you always know what's gonna happen. Bird Ring's gonna do well. He's either gonna do average or he's gonna carry the game. Moth, Moth's like top 3 best main supports ever.
Probably best Mercy of all time. Definitely top 3 to
Top, like,
5
3 on
Lucio player, I
Lucio.
would say, yeah.
And then
Shu
Shu, she's been
made the
popping off on
fucking
Zen.
yeah. Shu made the hero play that got them the freaking Countdown Cup to beat Shock, which is
Yeah.
just
And then
um,
Mirror,
I think Mirror replaced Doomfist. I'm not gonna lie, haven't seen him play
I haven't
much.
seen him a lot either. So I guess
Kevster
Mirror
has been fantastic on the Tracer. He's pops off. I mean, I was kind of a Kevster hater at the start, but I don't think he's an MVP player by any means, but he is when he's out there, he's either destroying the other team or at least terrorizing a few supports. He
he's
doesn't really
he
have bad games.
someone's gonna hate him.
Yeah. Skewed, probably the best brig in the league. Uh, I could probably safely say he's the best brig in the world. I don't think there's really questioning that. He's insane at what he does.
Yeah,
Um,
Muse. I think Muse is a rookie this year. Yeah, I was a yeah.
what?
He was a very anticipated signing last year.
Yeah, especially for the NA teams not playing a lot of ball and that having to be like the ball diva meta, him being able to flex over to there has given the Gladiators like a massive advantage in NA. But
Uh,
I think this is
so on the
hard for
count of
me.
3, let's say who we think's the best player.
Oh God.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, space.
Space.
Yeah, I
Um,
so for me, he's probably the best Western off tank. I think many people can agree with that. He's also, if you ever seen, this isn't really too important to his performance, but if you ever watched his streams, he just seems like very not, he's just really
Mr.
fun to
spending three
watch.
days on the Sigma jump.
Yeah, the Sigma jump 3 days.
Uh, for the sake of this, I'll make the argument for Birdring. I don't get me wrong, I think Space is the best player on this team, but Birdring, he definitely needs some love. I feel like without a doubt, whenever I see Birdring out there, whether he's on Widow, Hanzo, whatever long range hit scan he's
That
playing, whether
one
he's playing
4K Junkrat
yeah,
through the Sim
he
TP
he
against
flexes to
Justice.
whatever his team wants, which allows Kevster to be in a really good position to be able to consistently play that tracer pretty much all the time. I think Birdring has a lot of experience. Obviously season one, what he played London Grand Finals. Um, he's Grand Finals. I think throughout this team, there's a lot of veteran players, Miles Space, Birdring. Um, I think
I think
Birdring is
Houston
that player that no matter what is happening, no matter what the meta is, whatever hero he's playing, you are always going to get a top level performance, even if the rest of the team is doing bad, just because that's the type of player he is. But Space is the best player on that team. I on to the
Atlanta.
Atlanta Reign.
What a
Um,
surprise this season. They're
yeah,
number
they were.
3
I thought they were
currently.
gonna be pretty average, but they
No, yeah,
kind of popped off.
everyone thought they're gonna be like pretty average to low tier or to like high tier,
I
but
would say, yeah, Houston's been a pretty good surprise too. But
yeah, no one even talked about Houston in the
uh,
preseason.
I definitely think Pelican's the best player on this team. There's Hawk and Kai. Kai has insane aim, but I
I
think Pelican throughout the season, he's been playing pretty much all the heroes that are mandatory, like I don't know, Echo, May. What else did he play? Tracer. There's nobody competing with him. Um, I do believe he just had surgery recently, but
he did.
on something I don't pay attention. But I mean,
I don't
yeah.
use the cesspool that is Twitter.
Yeah. Onto
I
the
now to the best team to
onto the best team
ever
in the
grace
league right now.
Overwatch.
The San Francisco Shock. Ah man, there's so much on this team.
So we have
Super,
Super. Super's the best
the
main tank in
Michael
the world, the
Jordan of
biggest
esports.
forehead. Yeah, Michael Jordan of esports.
Nero, the absolute flex god. Good
Choice
May
Yobin
player, likes to wall off shatters.
does
Uh,
like to do that.
Choi
Choi
Yobin, big bombs.
Smurf, maybe the most wholesome player to ever grace Overwatch.
Can definitely sing that country road song.
Country rat, dude, that's great.
Violet, an absolute menace. Violet is a complete freak on every role, even DPS.
Remember it versus Stola last year's grand finals. He goes to 1v1 Prophet
2v1,
and the Mercy. Yeah,
2v1.
2v1.
It might have been Fitz and
Survives on
Mercy,
1
but I
health.
don't know. Because I feel like Fitz played Widow. Doesn't matter.
Twilight's one of the best honors in the world. He was on
Yeah,
Vancouver's second
yeah.
season.
Also, he's really good at taking TPs on last fight, and then right in front
On
of Dante.
Junkertown and then
Yeah, and
calling.
then getting frozen as he calls instead of just fading back when you realize his team didn't take it.
After that hero play,
We have Glister.
Glister.
I don't remember who he
Glister has
used to play
no
for. What? The
he
Charge?
played no, he played for the Spitfire.
Oh, good.
Um
Um,
he has a lot of
yeah.
potential.
Yeah, he's kind of the striker that's just a little weaker on everything than Striker is. I feel like we give him a little bit of time, he'll definitely be a top player. He's playing, but switching in with Ons. Ons, the best long range hit scan in the world. I don't think that's even a question. Um, Unfortunately, the meta is not in his hands right now.
FD God, the Lucio player that likes to play Reddit Lucio and has like
Sometimes
a
F
deep
feed gods,
voice.
but I don't know. SK said on Twitter he's the most gifted gamer of all time or something like that.
That
I might just throw that tweet up there maybe if I can ever find it.
you better throw in the clip of Smurf singing Country Road too.
Yeah, sure. Tayo,
Feels
he's
so
easily
bad for
has the most
Tayo.
playtime on this team. Um he's just fantastic. Came in to play Genji, got benched for the Super Genji.
Yeah.
I I don't know a better way to go out.
Alright, count of three, say who you think's the best.
Give me a second to think. Oh,
Give me your top three in order.
an order from dude, this is so hard. I definitely know, yeah. I know Ons and Violet are on here no matter what. Um, I for the sake of accolades, my number three is either Choi or Super. I'm just gonna go with Super for the sake of accolades, for what he has done. I
What
guess
you talking about the World Cup champion, Melee champion,
Cat Dunk Cup champ,
June no not
MVP runner up,
Roll Star times two, two-time grand final winner, biggest
uh,
forehead in the league.
first person on the Shock to get a girlfriend.
No, it's his roommate.
Oh yeah, my bad. Roommate with benefits. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'll go Super, Ons, and then Violet. That's pretty respectable. Super as number three, Ons is number two, Violet as number one. Obviously, don't get me wrong. I don't think Super's better than Violet or Ons. But
the funny thing is I
I think
really
this
do
is
think that if
yeah,
Super left the team, that the Shock would be way less popular. I
yeah.
think I kid you not. If Super retires at all, I don't think the Shock's gonna let him go. I think the Shock's gonna get him to the streamer team. I don't.
Content creators with Mr. Emong.
Yeah, Emong and
Um,
basically Flats are basically two in one deal.
yeah, obviously, okay, I'll go with mine. Super at number three is obviously pretty self-explanatory. It's him or Choi, I would say, are probably there. He he's pretty much the backbone of this team. I I couldn't imagine the Shock without Mr. Super Delisi, the Cashy Delisi on the team. Aunt, I mean, he's the best long range hit scan in the world. You can make the debate for him being just the best overall hit scan in the world. Um,
Also,
I
what a
I
chat. He
see
took
him
his
play.
photo without his arms in the shirt.
um, I don't know what he's on, but he decided that sandpaper was the best way to make his aim better. So there's
It
that.
worked.
Um, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him get widow dipped in my life ever in an Overwatch League game. Violet at number one. I mean, it's Violet, dude. Whether he's on the McCree, not missing a shot, whether he's playing Zenyatta as top 2 Zenyatas in the world next to Izayaki and him. I mean, his Ana needs some work. He's a great Ana still, I guess, but he gets outshined by Twilight very hard in that role. Recently, FD not been doing fantastic to say the least. He's been playing the Lucio, he's been playing the Mercy, he's been playing Brig, he's been playing Zen, he's played BAP. He's literally playing absolutely everything and allowing Twilight to play the role that Twilight is best at to try to help the team. That is, what other player do you see literally changing their roles to allow their teammates to play what they're more comfortable on? Like,
It's gonna go Choi, Violet, then Ons.
why is Ons the best player?
You see, last season he was popping off.
Yeah. Sure. Alright, now that we're done wanking off our favorite teams,
God, they're so
onto the
hot.
Dallas Fuel. Um,
I think there's only one choice here.
Pine, no.
Excuse me. You gotta
Exy?
know it's Repel. Alright, so now that
Okay,
we're
so
joking, it's actually Sparkle.
um I saw everyone was like talking about Fearless this year, that he's just the protagonist of the story, the only two-time Melee champion, all this crap. But when it comes down to it and you look at this team, for me at least, it's between Fielder and Sparkle. I know Hanbin is technically statistically the best player in the league, but we ignore that when we look at Sparkle. We see the Genji, we see the Pharah, we see the Tracer, we see Echo, we see Doomfist, we see it all. We say every hero that needs to be played at all times from Mr. Sparkle. I voted this man for MVP, and that is why I'm saying Fielder is the best person on that team. Dude, he was playing on like
What?
250 ping last year, and he carried. I'm just saying. Fielder
Hmm.
just didn't get a spot in the MVP race. God tier Ana, not tell me I'm wrong.
So, are you joking?
No, I'm being serious.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Sparkle. Post in the comments what you think, if you disagree or agree. Made some spicy opinions.
Ignore the
Not
fact that the
some, not
first half of the video was just me not liking the APAC teams as much, but it
yeah, same.
happens. I don't get to watch them as much, obviously, because it's like
Yeah, it's like
early
staying up
morning,
to
late
3
night.
a.m.
It's just not happening unless it's tournaments, then I obviously watch them. But NA reigns supreme. Gladiators just won.